All right, so I got a theory where the Legend of Zelda, all the timeline takes place in the Star Wars universe. All right. Hear me out. So you got you got some primary characters, right? You got the antagonists where their main force has to relate with power. Ganondorf with the power Triforce, right? Triforce of power, and then you got the dark side of the Force with Emperor Palpatine, right? Like just think about that real quick. They both kind of sort of have Force lightning, and they're both the bad guy. All right, so moving on to the protagonist, we got Luke Skywalker and Link, who are most associated with the color green. Link having his entire fit be green, and Luke having a green Master Sword. All right, so let's look at the weapon in question, the Master Sword and the lightsaber. So um, uh, the lightsaber is probably based off of the Master Sword because they are both weapons of light. The weapons meant for the bane of evil. So lightsaber are used by Jedi to extinguish the dark side in the Sith, and the Master Sword is it's more used for evil stuff like Ganondorf and Ganon and uh, other versions of Ganon. So let's see. Who has the Triforce of Courage? We already established that. Now, we can move on to the wisdom aspect of this. So as we determined, courage goes to the protagonist, power goes to the antagonist, and wisdom go to the Jedi. Like Jedi is all about seeking knowledge, and they all have this temple that respects that notion. And if you look at the Triforce of Wisdom, which provides knowledge, which provides implications of magic, the Triforce of Wisdom is kind of sort of most associated with magic, since Zelda is primarily reflected within with magic powers. Uh, um, Same goes with the Jedi, and I suppose the Sith too, um, who use the Force, which I guess is the Triforce, but since time passes for however amount of time that takes place between um, uh, Star Wars and the Legend of Zelda, um, um, I guess the Triforce is now just the Force by this point. But if you look at the Force, you have telekinetic abilities and if you have the dark version, which is I guess the Triforce of Power, that you get Force Lightning and Force Choke, which is stuff that Ganon kind of sort of has. Um, so, okay, now that we looked into it, now let's see the lore implications of both the Triforce and the Force and the lightsabers and the Master Sword. So, originally the Force was most likely the Triforce, but as time progressed on and it was more it was progressively more exposed to the faults of human nature. Not only did Ganon split apart it into thirds because of his impure heart, but I suppose eventually some other fool would come across the Force, splitting even those pieces even more. So eventually, it got into the point where the Force is just tiny bits and pieces, like as smaller than quarks, even spread across the galaxy, allowing just about anybody to have access to all this power. So anyone that's Force sensitive has minor access to the Triforce, which allows them to use both light and dark Force abilities. Um, so yeah, let's go back to the Master Sword. Eventually, the Master Sword, being blessed by the gods, because the Triforce eventually crumples into small pieces, the Master Sword kind of sort of either stops losing the ability to be glow and be able to slay evil, or it just kind of stops existing as well and turns into dust through the passage of time. But since the Triforce or I guess by this point the force is all over the place. I guess it can be concentrated into small crystals known as the Kyber crystal, which can be installed on a lightsaber build and allow it to light up in a beautiful glow of light, which is a lightsaber. So this lightsaber emits the energy that allows its users to smite evil. And I suppose since the Triforce is so tiny, since not tiny, but since the Force is so separated across the galaxy, I guess it can be tampered with very easily by powerful enough people to use it for their bidding, like the Sith and those of the dark side. Um, so that's why bad people can now use the blade of evil's bane, ironically enough, which is a very interesting idea. That's a cool thing that they did. Eventually make the world a little bit more ambiguous. I suppose. All right, so now let's go with the races. Eventually all the races of Zelda have to evolve and do something else. All right, so there's some obvious parallels out there, like the Zora, both the pretty versions and the ugly versions, and things like the Twi'leks and the Gungans from the Star Wars series. They look eerily similar if you squint a little bit. Um, the same thing goes with maybe like the Koroks and maybe either the Jawas or the other ones. And then uh, you have I don't know what Wookiees could be though. Um, I guess they're a new species exclusive to Star Wars, and with the Gorons, I can't really think up of anything. Oh yeah, let's see, who's that one guy from it's one of Anakin's best friends. He wears like a Han Solo fit. I think that is either an Octorok or one of them plant people from the Legend of Zelda. What is it? A Deku shrub. Yeah. Uh, that guy uh uh, uh a relative to the Deku shrubs. So okay, now that we got races out of the way, I guess not really. I guess normal, not normal, just humans in general. I suppose they're all Hylians from back in the day. And if you look closely, all the protagonists in Star Wars are human, I guess, or they have very Hylian features like having human skin. They just don't have the pointy ears bit. Yeah, so the majority of characters are these. So let's see what else. What other races have I not covered yet? Well, I mean, I guess I mean droids are just robots, and you have seen a couple of them in the Legend of Zelda universe. But other than that, what else can we touch upon? Let's see. I think that's it. Narratively, they're kind of different, like, uh, but they're kind of also the same too. Like, if you really think about it, a guy that's represented by the color green is the only one with enough courage to stop the evil that's going on, and the evil somehow has lightning powers. Um, and there's wise people, and that's about it. Um, so yeah, like, I guess Qui-Gon Jinn is like Zelda's reincarnation. I mean, if you look closely at it, it makes a little bit of sense. Um maybe Qui Gon is one of the members of the royal family. Maybe I don't know. Let's look at Yoda. What kind of being is Yoda? I don't know. But let's see. Are there any Rito in Star Wars? Any bird people? Not really. Um, um, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'm just trying to find excuses by this point, but you get the idea. There's plenty of speculation that can be made about all these sort of things. Let's see. Oh, that's right. That's right. In the expanded lore, when they cover like all like the Jedi temples and stuff, they're kind of ornate and like have like yellow, yellow like ornate markings and like accents or whatever. And the guardians of these places also hold yellow lightsaber staves, I believe. And if you know what the color yellow means in Legend of Zelda, it's usually representing the Triforce, or I guess in this case the Force, which is the coveted idea that the Jedi wish to accomplish within these temples. So as they worship the Force here, they are worshiping the Triforce, or I don't know. I guess that's how it works, but um, I'm not exactly so sure. But oh yeah, maybe you can say that the the Jedi Knights or the Jedi Guardians are like the Hylian soldiers of old time, but they're there to defend the royal family and the royal idea of worshiping the Triforce. And I guess the Jedi Council or the Jedi councilmen, whatever they're called, they're like sages from the Legend of Zelda. And one I guess one more parallel I can make is I think the Great Fairies. I think they're Force ghosts. If you look at the color scheme and the fact that they're kind of sort of translucent, um, gives you the impression that the great fairies and the mother fairy from the Legend of Zelda series, um, I think they're force ghosts, and I think if you're powerful enough in the force, if you bless yourself with highly the goddess Hylia's energy enough, I think you can become a great fairy and manipulate the world around you as you see fit. Yeah, I guess you become a great fairy by becoming a force ghost, which is a really neat idea, but I'm not exactly too sure. I think I'm just BSing by this point, but I'm not too sure. I'm not an expert at any of these series. Like I asked my older brother, who is a really big fan of the Legend of Zelda, and he said, "Nah, dude, you're. I think you inhale too much oxygen. You should take a step down from going outside a little bit." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I asked one of my closest friends who likes Star Wars this theory, and he pretty much said the same thing. Nah, dude, you're delusional. Not really. I don't see the parallels all that well. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, that's just my ideas. That's my speculation. Take it as how you will. I'm not exactly an expert on both series, but I can tell you with certainty that uh, I think Star Wars and The Legend of Zelda are within the same universe. All right. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I think I mostly expect a bunch of not necessarily negative comments, but a bunch of contradictory statements that invalidates all the claims I've made. But uh, I do think that Star Wars and The Legend of Zelda are of the same universe. All right. Thanks for watching. I hope you go on and wait ahead for my next video. It's gonna be about how Super Smash Bros. Melee is the spiritual successor and sequel to the game Tetris. I'll cover that in that video, but it'll have the same amount of speculation ideas and philosophical notions as my analysis that I made in today's video. All right, thanks for watching. and have a nice day, everybody. I'll see you again in Rayman 4.